Hi there, this is Sarah. I'm sharing today with you a layout that I have created for Poppy's Crafty Owl. This month I had a football themed pack to use for my design team assignment, which is right up my street. I have decided to use some photos, which you'll see shortly, which are of my team in the playoff final at Wembley this last May. Here I am just gutting this piece of red and white stripe paper, which is by Photoplay, and I am then going to trim my white cardstock down to 11.5 by 11.5 so that the page can be framed by that red and white stripy paper. As you can see now, I am just using my scissors to distress the edges of my cardstock just to give a little bit of texture. I mean, you can use a craft knife or a paper distresser if you have one. I'm now going to use just some black ink and an ink dauber and just come around the edges of my cardstock with the black ink, just so that it makes that white cardstock not blend in with those white stripes and kind of give it a bit of pop off of that background paper. So I don't really want my edges all to blend in with that white background, especially down the side where that stripe is completely white, is going to go down that edge. Once I've done that, I'm just going to leave it to dry for a few minutes, just so that I obviously don't smudge it onto the background paper that I'm using. So once I have done that, then you'll see that I come in and just adhere it onto the paper frame, which I have now created out of that red and white stripy paper. So yeah, here we are, I'm just lining it up so you can see that it is now framed. I got this sort of honeycomb cut file from the Silhouette store, raised it up on some little foam pads and then stuck that onto my background. Here I'm using another sheet of that Photoplay paper, which is finer red stripes, and I'm going to mount all of my photos onto this red and white stripy paper. I've used a 4x4 and then two smaller photos, which I think are kind of 2.5 by 2.5 for this layout. The red and white stripes obviously are significant because that's the kit that my team play in. So again, I had to make sure that they were pointing downwards and not across, so that they are stripes and not hoops, because I'd never be forgiven. So yeah, here you can see I'm just mounting the smaller photos again on that red and white stripy paper, which is lovely. I think the paper is Photoplay America the Beautiful or something from that collection, so it's kind of a stars and stripe range, but the red and white stripes just work perfectly for me, so that's great. So as you can see, I'm just kind of lining my photos up, just position them where I want them to sit on my page before I finally stick them down. I then decided to come in with some tissue paper just to give a little bit more sort of texture on my page. So this was just some red tissue that I had in my stash, and I've just decided to double layer that, and as you can see, I've just stuck it down so that when I pick it up it doesn't all fall apart and the layers move. So just trimming the outside of that now. And once I've done that, I then just run my scissors down the top edge, which is joined, again just so that I've got that sort of rough, torn sort of looking edge on that photo. I decided not to use red for the little photos. I decided that I would use some white tissue for those. Again, just so that it gives it a bit of contrast and just adds a little bit more white into the page, rather than it just being all red and, you know, looking sort of very much the same. So once they were in place and I knew where I wanted to put them, I then mount my photos up on some foam pads and just stick them straight onto my background, just sort of overlapping that beautiful cut file that I've got there. And yeah, so that's what I'm just doing now. And then the two smaller ones, I think with the smaller ones I stuck one directly onto the page itself and then raised up the other photo, like this photo that I'm sticking now, just so that it, you know, it's not all the same, just gives it a bit more dimension on the page. And once I've done that, here I'm coming in with the Poppy's Crafty Owl match day embellishments that I got in my kit. And you can see that there's a little football there, which when it arrived it was white and it is lovely, but I decided that I would colour sections in with a black Sharpie just to give it sort of more depth off the page, otherwise it would have blended in with that white background. And in the kit you also get these really super cute little football boots and the red shirt. You can also get the shirt in different colours. It doesn't have to be red. You can get it in various colours. I've just added some foam pads to the bottom just so that it sits up from my photo because my photo's raised up. And I'm just going to stick the match day title itself down with some wet glue directly onto my background, which is what I did with the football and the football boots too. As you can see, I'm just gluing down the football there at the top. And here I'm just fussy cutting some bees which I had stamped using, I think the bee stamp was from a Crepe Paper stamp collection that I got. And the bees are significant to me and to this page because my team are Brentford and they are called Nickname the Bees. So here I'm just raising a few of them up on some foam pads and just kind of dotting them around on my layout for some embellishment. And yeah, I think I put about 5 or 6 onto the page. And once I had put my bees on, I decided that I was going to use some of these white puffy enamel type dots and black ones too from this sheet, which I can't remember the collection they're from. The red unfortunately didn't match, it was more of an orangey red, so I didn't use those. I also found some lovely black enamel hearts in my stash, which I decided that I would put on this page as well. And here I'm just going to add in some black and white sequins, just to add some sparkle and a few more sort of embellishments. I'm just going to pop them in clusters around the shirt, the boots, and I think around the football, just in a sort of few key places on the page. And once I've added the black and white ones, I think I then come in and add, yes, here we are. I come in and add a few red ones as well, just for a little bit of more red pop on this page. So it's I've only really used kind of the 3 colours on this page, again because the colours are significant to the team and the colours that we wear. So that's why I went for those 3 colours. So I'm just popping a few more red sequins around, as you can see. A few more. And then I think we're done. But yeah, this page is just great. You know, this was the day we went to the playoff final at Wembley this May, and we won, which means that Brentford get to now play in the Premiership this season, which is just phenomenal. It was a really great day out, quite emotional as well. So here I'm coming in with some black watercolour, and I'm just adding in some paint splatters just around those clusters that I've created with the sequins and the fussy cut bees. Just a few sort of here and there. I know that some people are a bit kind of nervous about using paint splatters. Oh, this was funny with my red ink. So I decided that I was going to add some red ink, but off camera I gave it a shake and I didn't realise the lid wasn't on properly, and it went all over the desk and all over my hands. So I had to quickly clear that up before I could add the red splatters onto my page. Thankfully it didn't sort of leak out all over my page, else I think I would have cried. But I'm just adding sort of a fewer bigger dots of the red onto this one, and once that's in place, I don't think there was anything else I did. I think that was it. So hopefully we'll get a thumbs up shortly, and yep, there we go, that's my page. Thanks for watching everyone. Bye.